Hi, dear students. Right now, we're going to do question number 10 from past paper accounting May June 2021, paper 1 1, variant that's 1 1. When I say paper 1 1, that means variant 1 1 because there are three variants for every paper if you know the past papers of IGCSE. Now, what does the question says? The question says Javid's sales ledger control account had a debit balance of $12,000. Sales ledger control account had a debit balance of $12,000. This is a sales ledger control account question. Now, the information says interest on an overdue account 40 and discount allowed 150 had been omitted. That means you did not record an interest on an overdue account that is 40 and discount allowed $150. You did not record these two items. So now what was the correct balance on the sales ledger control account? Which they mean after correcting the omitted figures. So what will be the correct balance of the sales ledger control account after putting these two entries where it belongs? So for this, you need to draw our sales ledger control account. I'll just write SLCA. SLCA means sales ledger control account. And for that, you need to remember what goes on which side. But to be very simple, remember one thing that sales ledger refers to trade receivable. Sales ledger refers to trade receivable. Trade receivable is the amount we have to receive from our customers. So, sales ledger control account, it actually is a trade receivable account. So, what will happen to trade receivable will happen the similar way in the sales ledger control account. Now, trade receivable is an asset. Everybody would agree with that. And you should know that asset increase on the debit side and asset decrease on the credit side. If you don't know, now you know. Asset increase on the debit side and asset decrease on the credit side. Hence, when trade receivable increases, it will be debited, and trade receivable decrease will be on the credit. So sales ledger control account is trade receivable. Hence, whenever you are any transaction is increasing your receivable balance will be written on the debit side, and vice versa. Means if it's decreasing, it will be written on the credit side. So balance, first of all, we'll put the balance first, which is 12,000 debit balance. Usually, if even if they don't mention debit, they just say that sales ledger control account balance is 12,000. Usually, if nothing is mentioned, sales ledger, which is trade receivable, is usually on the debit side because it's an asset. So 12,000 will be on the debit side. Date is, what is the date? There's no date mentioned, so we don't care about that. We just write balance BD 12,000. Now we have to see where will these two items go. First of all, interest on an overdue account. Now, interest on an overdue account means we are charging interest to the customer because the customer has not paid on time. So, not paid on time, there's $40, which means are we going to increase our trade receivable or decrease our trade receivable? So, think about it. $40, if the customer did not pay, we're going to charge customer extra penalty interest here. So which is going to increase our trade receivable balance. Remember, if it is going to increase, it's going to be on the debit. If it is going to be decreasing our balance, it is going to be on the credit. Increase debit, decrease credit for the trade receivable only I'm talking about. I'm not talking about every other item in the accounting. Just trade receivable right now. So increase in the trade receivable 40 means we will write it on the debit side, which is going to be interest. Sorry, interest. We'll just write interest here. And 150. Okay, what about discount allowed? Now, when we allow discount to a customer, is it going to increase the balance of receivable or decrease the balance of receivable? Think about it. So when we allow discount, it is actually going to make customer pay us lesser amount, which is technically decreasing the receivable balance of the customer. That is why it's going to be on the credit side. So discount allowed. So when we balance this T account once again, how to balance it? The balancing is simple, total both sides first of all, and write the higher amount on both sides. Now, higher amount is on the debit side, which is 12,040. So we'll write 12,040. And then this credit side is definitely not 12,040. So we have to find the missing figure, missing item. So we will calculate 12,040 minus 150. So you will get the answer. What is the answer? Okay, let me do it in my calculator. It should be, actually, I'm just doing it in my mind. It is going to be 50, 12,000, 90, 12,000, 11,000, 11,890. So this should be the answer, 11,890. That is going to be our balance CD, which is, they are saying correct balance, and this is the balance which is going to be later on brought down 8890. So this will be the corrected balance, which is, the answer is B. For this format of the sales ledger control account, you can actually go into the description and see there are a lot of different topics I have covered, and notes are provided with a lot of different formats, including sales ledger control account as well. Okay, hope this video, you find this helpful, and if you didn't understand everything, it's okay. Just understand something, because something is better than nothing.